One of the most popular films during the recent Christmas holiday was the Netflix original movie Bird Box, starring Sandra Bullock. And before we get going, I just want to say, Sandra Bullock, she doesn't look a day over 30, she's actually in her 50s. Now this is a good thing for me because as I get older, there are less and less older women that I find attractive. So when there's some vintage binges like Sandra, that brings about balance to the force. But the film Bird Box itself, if you haven't seen it, this is spoiler free apart from one detail, which is in the film when the major cast members go outside they're always blindfolded. And sadly but inevitably, this has led to the latest internet craze called the Bird Box Challenge, in which attention-seeking idiots are filming themselves trying to carry out daily tasks whilst fucking blindfolded. Now no one has died doing this yet, but I stress the operative word there is yet. But there is a video that's gone up of a father and his two children, and as soon as they're all blindfolded, the youngest child runs face first into a brick wall, and I found that fucking hilarious. Netflix, however, didn't, and they've put out a statement asking people not to do the Bird Box Challenge in case they get sued. But I'm all for it. If there are new and exciting ways for stupid people to maim and kill themselves, then it should be encouraged, particularly as we live in such a cosseted, mollycoddle world at the moment. I mean, just today I drove the new Ford Transit, and I haven't driven a van for a few years, and the last van I drove, the interior was the essential controls to make it move and some seats. The new Transit, when I put the key in, there were that many screens and lights that came on, I wasn't sure whether I was going to drive it or have to fucking fly it. There's sensors everywhere, it must be nigh on impossible to crash one of these things. But with that part of our lives getting safer, it's good that the stupid are finding ways to remove themselves from the gene pool. So if you know a moron, and we all know one or two, saying that they want to do the Bird Box Challenge, encourage them. What I would say is, you know, it'd be really, really cool if you did that on top of a tall building like a multi-storey car park, or on the top of a cliff, or if not, maybe next to some pylons or an electricity substation, or next to some railway lines, anything that will kill the fuckers off. Because this isn't a new thing. Last year there was a story that was so weird I actually stayed away from it, and that was called the Fire Challenge. And that is what it sounds like. It was people filming themselves, setting themselves on fire briefly for likes on the internet. Stuff like this is natural selection happening in real time, and we should give Mother Nature a helping hand. So I think the ultimate goal we can do is to combine the two. If you know someone who is thick as pig shit but desperate for attention, encourage them to do the Bird Box Fire Challenge, in which they will douse themselves in petrol, put a blindfold on, light the petrol, and then put themselves out with a fire extinguisher. But crucially, you should go along with them to do this, and while they put the blindfold on, throw away the fucking fire extinguisher.